It's a beautiful day, and today you are welcome back to my channel. And this is, as always, for the love of chemistry. Of course, as you know, here chemistry is simplified and we make it exciting and beautiful. So today, SS3 students, I'm here for you. You know, in 2 months' time, 2 months, right? You'll be starting work, and practicals are always a bit rough or something. And the truth is, WAEC gives more credit to practicals than all the theories you can put together. Practical has half of the mark. For everything you're writing in your theory, it's just half of the mark. So if you do well in practicals, trust me, you'll do very well in your WAEC. So here is my own nuggets concerning your practicals. And I want to start with titration because that's the first one. And today, as you can see on the board, we are introducing titrations. So yeah, SS3 students, I'm here for you. So today, I'm not into explaining your theory. You can read that up for yourself. So my area of concentration is the things that we need in calculating our practicals. Because after you've done your titration and gotten your volume of acid used, or volume of whatever A is given, or whatever you are asked to titrate with, whatever. After you've gotten it, there are some calculations that follow. So my area of interest is on those calculations, okay? So when you do your practicals, then you come to this place to get everything you need, so that when you are done calculating, and even all the tips for the marking, because when you know what WAEC will mark, you also know how to do it and do it well. So here, I want to start by introducing very important terms that you will see all through the calculations. You always meet them. And I'll have to give you some secrets on how to recognize them, even when they are not called. All right, so let's look at these terms. First, you have mass concentration. So we call it mass conc. We cut it short and give it some clock it names. We call it mass conc. So mass conc has a unit. And one major thing you must know about chemistry is that when you answer your questions, units are extremely important. Without units, you have no mark for your answer. No unit, no mark for your answer. So you must put your units. There is no half mark when you write an answer and there is no unit. So you must put your units. And the reason, sometimes you will not be asked what is the mass conc of this. They will ask you, what is the concentration in grams per dm cubed? This is grams per dm cubed. Okay, I can write it as G dm raised to power minus 3 or G slash dm raised to power 3. So please don't mix it up. If you want to write G dm, make sure you are raising it to power minus 3. That minus, you already know, means divide. Exponential of a negative exponential means division. So it's gram divided by dm cubed. This is like mass over the volume. That's the mass conc, okay? And from the units, you can actually be able to know how to solve some of the questions. For instance, let's say you were given the mass of a particular compound that is dissolved in water, and you are told that this particular mass, let's say you are given like 2 grams of, let's say, tetrasulfate 6 acid was dissolved in 1000 cm cube of water. 1000 cm cube is equal to 1 dm cube. So if that amount is dissolved in 1000 cm cube, that means that is the amount in 1 dm cube. Don't worry, I'll still explain this better, but I'm just giving a form of introduction. So with that, you know that 2 grams is actually 2 grams per dm cubed, because it is the mass concentration. with more examples to understand what I'm saying. But for now, let's just introduce them. So you have the molar concentration. Molar concentration is the concentration in mole per dm cube. That's the number of moles in 1 dm cube. While mass concentration is the number of grams in 1 dm cube. Molar concentration is number of moles in 1 dm cube. We also call it molar con. And from the unit, you will see that it is what? Mole per dm cube. From the unit, you see that it is mole per dm cube. Then the next one you see is amount. Amount is in moles. The unit of amount is moles. That's the unit of amount. So, for you to solve amount is asking of the number of moles of that substance in whatever that you're given. So for you to get amount, it is the molar con, that's the concentration in mole per dm cube, multiplied by the volume of whatever you are asked. And there is something I want to show you about this amount, so you can be able to know it even when amount is not mentioned. For instance, you are asked what is the number of moles of so and so with this molar concentration of so and so and this volume. Looking at this molar conc and volume, molar conc, the unit of molar conc is mole per dm cubed. And it says that amount is in moles, okay? And for you to get the amount, it is molar conc multiplied by volume, and that volume must be in dm cube. You know, we have volume in cm cube. So even if you are given the volume in cm cube, you have to change the volume to dm cube. So let's look at this. You have amounts to be molar conc, which is mole per dm cube, multiplied by volume in dm cubed. Now, if I should write this well, this means this mole per dm cube means mole over dm cube. And if I should multiply this, and write it well as well, this is what it will look like, right? So if dm cube cancels dm cube, what do you have? You have mole. So the unit of amount is in moles. You will notice this all through the calculations. So in case you are not sure what is the unit of this, you simply check the parameters that you will multiply and get it. So what you do is each parameter you put, you fill in the unit and put it appropriately. Then with that, you can cancel out which units can cancel out. And what you have left is actually the correct unit for the particular thing you are solving. So let's look at something, the relationship between molar concentration, mass concentration, and molar mass of the compound. Let's look at the relationship between molar concentration, mass concentration, and molar mass of the compound. So we have that the mass concentration, mass conc, is equals to molar conc times molar mass. Now, if in case you forgot the unit of mass conc, but you remember the unit of molar conc, and of course the unit of molar mass, I've solved molar mass here. Thank God. So the unit of molar conc is what? Mole per dm cubed. And the unit of molar mass is gram per mole. Are you seeing that now? So if mole cancels mole, what do we have? We have gram per dm cubed. and that is the unit of mass conc. So, do you see that in case you forgot the unit or you forgot the formula, you will use the units to remember that, okay, this unit is mass. So mass is in grams. And concentration has to do with DMQ. Did you not notice that both mass concentration and molar concentration is per DMQ? So this will help you to remember. Mass is grams, concentration must be in DMQ, like it has something to do with what? DMQ. How many, what's the quantity of this particular compound in DMQ? So if it's concentration, each concentration always has per DMQ, and mass is grams. So with that, you know that mass conc is gram per DMQ. And then molar conc, mole in DMQ. So with that, you don't forget it. Okay? Alright. So that's it for a little bit of the hack that you will use to always remember the units and also remember the formula in case you forget. And then from here we can make either molar concentration or molar mass subject of the formula. In case we are looking for molar concentration, that means we first write molar concentration, molar conc equal to whatever, of course this is multiplication, so if this crosses the sign of equality, it becomes division. So molar conc, then write what is already here, mass conc. I believe you already know what I'm doing, so all over molar mass. So this is the formula for molar concentration. Alright, so then if you want to find the molar mass, it's still the same thing. Molar mass equal to, after writing molar mass, you probably write equal to and then write this mass conc over molar conc. And in case you are wondering, am I right, am I wrong, you put the units. This is gram per DMQ all over gram per mole. So if we have G over DMQ times G over mole, let me make a mistake. Okay. So when you put the units, this is gram per dm cubed divided by gram per mole. So if we want to get the what's it called, the unit of molar concentration using this, so it says gram per dm cubed divided by gram per mole. So this is G over dm cubed divided by G over mole. Because when I write it like this, it's easy to forget that this means divide. So when a fraction is dividing a fraction, what do? We write the first one, change this to multiplication and invert. So mole over gram. G cancels G, we'll have what? Mole per dm cubed Okay, so in that way, it's so easy to know when you are right or when you are wrong. You use this to do what? To cross-check. Okay, all right. So that when we start solving our equations, because you can get nervous in the exam and forget things you know. That's why I'm doing this unit checks. With that, you can remember that, okay, when I did this, this will help me to find out if I'm right or wrong. All right. So when next we see, we'll start our calculations. Okay. Have a beautiful day.